All right, my friend. And we're rolling.
I'm just going to be on my phone.
Oh my God, like a millennial. Welcome to the Smoking Gorilla Lounge, the reboot of the Smoking Gorilla Lounge. I'm Dave, and this is
Paul O'Brien. How are you?
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be doing some New World stuff here, and this is the what is this? Le Carême.
Le Carême.
And what's the make of it?
French. This is Crown Heads from 2016.
Okay.
Original release. And this is the Canonazzo size.
And it's what, 5 7/8 by 52 or something like that?
Yeah. And it seems a little smaller because of the box press, but great mouthfeel.
Good. I mean, I like the Maduro. I just like the look of the wrapper. And you and I, we've smoked a bunch of these, I think. And so I don't know, kind of know this cigar, right?
We make it a broadleaf wrapper. Ecuadorian Sumatra binder. Nicaraguan filler, I think, but made in the Dominican. Does that sound right?
Let's see, this guy.
And a beautiful presentation. It looks French. Looks like a fancy boulangerie that you would see walking down the streets of Paris in the Marais somewhere.
Oh my God, he's a world traveler too, by the way, as well. So, yes. Yeah, or like a French stick of chocolate. I don't know.
Oh, and apropos from the previous smoking experience, I believe.
Okay.
They call it a French stick of chocolate.
Yeah, and this is named after...
you know, she's got 4 French names, and I can't remember. She's a French baker or chef who was famous for popularizing the souffle around the world.
And that's hence the name on the cigar, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. So yeah. Now I'm not a big, like, this guy is. There's other people that are, so what are you getting from the...
Oh, just chocolate.
Okay.
Milk chocolate on the cold draw. And nice easy draw. The thing that I enjoy, I don't know whether this impacts on, you know, how it defines the construction or anything, but you can see clearly at least 3 different types of tobaccos just by looking at the foot or the cut head. Like, there's a lot going on there, visually.
There is, actually, yes. Yeah. Yes.
And again, the chocolate.
Makes me put on my glasses, makes me speak French. Unbelievable. You got, oh, and look at the fancy lighter he's got.
Oh,
I got this thing that doesn't work. Anyway, yeah.
And then the ST Dupont to go with the French sounding cigar.
We've got refinements.
Right.
We're over here. Poshy. We've got me. Dirty.
The cheapest ST Dupont that they make, by the way.
Anyway, okay. Alright. Yes.
When was the last time you had one of these?
Probably about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Oh, you tried one recently.
Oh man, I've been smoking the crap out of these. So we're gonna give a plug out to
that's a good idea.
Cigar Warehouse in LA. So Saeed is in Sherman Oaks, and you know, this Saeed's the owner. I think there's like 4 brothers that own the whole enchilada, which I think is 4 or 5 different cigar shops. I think they sold the one in Arizona. Anyway. If something doesn't sell fast enough for him, Saeed puts it in the bargain bin. So these cigars were literally in the bargain bin for $8 a stick.
It's fantastic. I think the MSRP is $8.95 on these, so how can you go wrong with a great cigar under MSRP?
Yeah.
And in a shop. Like, that's not an online price.
No, I know. So you can go there to the Cigar Warehouse, pick this up in the bargain bin, and smoke it there in the lounge. It's a beautiful lounge. Just Yelp it online or Google Maps it or whatever, Cigar Warehouse in Sherman Oaks. And you can see the inside of the lounge. You got a great humidor there. All kinds of, they got pretty much every cigar, New World cigar. I know you hate me saying New World. I know you're like a non-Cuban pronunciation kind of guy.
Only because Cuba's the New World.
I know
too.
it's all the New World. I understand it. I really get that. I do. But
I think that's certain people that you hang out with have gotten you into that affectation of calling it New World.
Yes.
Cuba versus everything else.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. There are a few people that I talked to that definitely mentioned New World over that. So, but
It's
yeah,
cute though.
yeah. I mean, like so this shop is really good. So we're giving a shout out and a plug to them because I just really appreciate it. And I tell Saeed that every time he rings me up when he's there, I tell him, I go, you know what? I go, it's just so awesome that you do this and have it. He goes, yeah, I just want the stuff to sell and I want to get stock in. So it's awesome.
And also, by the way, if you're flying through LA and you have a little bit of a layover in LA, there's not a lot of places to smoke down near LAX. And on the map, you know, there's a hill in between LAX and Cigar Warehouse. But with it just buzzing up the 405, you could get there and back pretty quick and have a smoke.
You can. Yeah, you can. But if you don't have the time, you can go to El Segundo to, what's the name of that place again?
That's true, it's Cigars and More.
Cigars and More in El Segundo.
Brand new lounge.
Brand new, and it's got kind of a French provincial look inside of it. So, can you imagine this guy with this cigar and that lighter inside a French provincial looking...
And like a black beret,
yeah,
a little poodle on a leash.
I tell you.
Barking in French.
El Segundo Cigars and More. So, and those guys are really cool. That's a brand new lounge, and yeah, it's actually a really cool vibe in there.
Yeah, they do, I don't know if you know this, they've done quite a few events in the, you know, I don't know, maybe 6 months they've been open, something like that. They just did an Oliva event last week.
Yeah, well, we were just there like a few weeks back, and they were talking about another event. I mean, they do events all the time, right?
I think, yeah, were they talking about Ashton, maybe?
Thinking Ashton, yeah. Thinking Ashton event, so.
I think the Ashton rep was in when they were there.
Yes. Well, there's always guys floating in and out of there that, yeah, so, anyway.
It's been too long since I've smoked this.
Really? Yeah.
You know, the problem, as you were saying, at Cigar Warehouse, is their humidor is big and it's beautiful and there's tons of stuff. It's one of my favorite places to go in because I know there's always going to be something that I haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
They move new stock and new lines through there quite frequently. So it's harder to go back to stuff that you've smoked before.
Yes.
But we should.
Yeah, I mean, this, like I said, I've been going rooting through the bargain bin there. So I've been picking up all kinds of stuff that are just like the L'Atelier. A lot of people say L'Atelier, but I believe the French pronunciation is L'Atelier.
I'll defer to you on that one.
So they had some of the ones from 2015, 2016 in there. They're like special. Those were actually really good.
Is that the Mission?
No, not the La Mission. But actually, they did have the Lancero, the La Mission Lancero in there. Yeah, because I'm not a big fan of Tatuaje. Just to clear the air, I'm not a big fan of Tatuaje. So, but
I bet we could find a Tatuaje or two that you would like.
I mean, I smoked the
Cajonu?
Yeah, Cajonu.
That's heavy duty.
Yeah, I've smoked that one. And I've smoked some other ones, but it's kind of like when I'm smoking, well, these guys. Because,
Crown heads.
Yeah, this is the only Crown heads that I have smoked that I thoroughly enjoy. The rest of them are just a little bit too much for me.
Have you smoked the La Imperiosa, the light blue band?
I've smoked that one, the Las Calaveras, the Headley Grange, the Four Kicks.
Jericho Hill?
The Jericho Hill, yeah. And I know that there's a big crazy, fandom for that, for the Crown Head stuff.
Yep.
And, I'm going to get crucified, I guess, or whatever. But this is the one Crown Heads that I have thoroughly enjoyed. All the rest of them just get a little bit too gritty, a little bit too much, because I'm a big retro guy, and so they can be a little bit too punchy on the nose.
Well, that makes sense with you talking about Tatuaje, because a lot of the Tatuajes are very spicy.
Yeah.
A lot of pepper.
Yeah.
Especially through the nose, obviously. But, I remember at IPCPR in, I think it was 2016 when these came out, immediately liking these. Like, I like the marketing around it and all that, but the chocolatey nature of it, kind of the richness of the cigar, the smoothness of the cigar, even right on release. And then these, who knows how long Saeed has had these there, if they found their way into the bargain bin for whatever reason. And they've probably been there for a couple of years.
He's running out, I think. But anyway, we're going to smoke this thing down. and we will be back with some more tasting. Well, actually, we didn't do any tasting notes yet.
Let's do some tasting notes. Go ahead.
Okay. Right now, it's just pretty creamy. And like I said, there's not a big punch of pepper. There is actually a little bit of a pepperiness in there. A slight hint of a sweetness in there, and
Some cinnamon.
a little bit, and a slight touch of an earthiness in there as well. So, but at least I'm not getting that heavy, leathery, peppery.
Not at all.
It's really actually good. So,
Real smooth.
yes. Now we've been yakking so much we haven't even been concentrating on this.
And for a first cigar of the day, to be able to smoothly retrohale it, your nose hasn't been burned out by another cigar.
Right.
To kind of pave the way for being able to retrohale. It's great.
Right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've got her lit up, and we will be back with some more. Okay, so we're back into this cigar. We're like around the halfway point of the cigar. And anyway, what do you think so far?
Dave, what do you think of the smoke production on this?
Yeah, smoke production's
It's
great.
so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sip it, you can herp down on it if you want to, and just get different kinds of flavor.
Yes. Yeah. And the ash, I mean, that ash really holds on. Yours?
Oh yeah, it's holding on good. It's a really flaky ash. I mean, that looks like a Nicaraguan cigar, kind of. Weirdly, it looks almost like a Dominican wrapper, even though it's that Connecticut broadleaf. It's really white, with a little bit of that kind of tarry tan color here and there. But
Mottled.
Yeah, mottled. It's mottled. Very nice vocabulary word.
It's mottled, yes.
But yeah, smoke production's been great. Still super smooth. If anything, maybe even a little more.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
Yeah, for me, like this cigar, it just gets smoother, and it, like I said, I really appreciate the fact that it doesn't have that hitch in the face pepper, and the sweetness is just, I just really enjoy the sweetness on the cigar.
I would love to talk to John about the idea for the blend of this cigar. Obviously, Le Carême and having it be baking related, it kind of feels like they're trying to go for that sort of, baking spices, a great cigar with coffee, that kind of a thing, rather than the savory or the herbaceous, because there's really none of that on here.
No, there's really not at all.
Which I appreciate. I mean, it's so well defined.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And these guys were like, what was it, about 5 years ago? Because we were talking about Roma Craft and Crowned Heads, and like Roma Craft has kind of become the new darling.
Yes.
And these guys were like, what, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that?
Yeah, were you on the BOTL forums around then?
I'm not a big forum.
You're not a forum guy?
Talker guy.
Yeah, Crowned Heads in around 2015, 2016, even late 14, they were definitely being talked up a lot. Reddit at the time, the Reddit cigar group was really big before they kind of got killed by the moderation on there, and on BOTL.org. These guys were a darling of the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of even before Warped got really culty, definitely before Roma Craft got really culty. These guys had their moment, and it was, I want to say, right before this cigar came out, I feel like they were kind of at their height as far as the chatter and like you had to get this or you had to get that. And I think it all came from Las Calaveras. Because that first release of the Las Calaveras in 2014, legendary now. They even made the La Imperiosa line based off of the 2014 blend because people were crazy for it. And it was, 3-4 months in, you couldn't get a box of that. And really haven't been able to get it since.
Yeah, and like the Las Calaveras, I've smoked the Las Calaveras since then. It was, to me, it was a bit underwhelming for me. But
so you've smoked the 18, 17, 16.
What is it? The orange and the green, right? There's an orange label and a green label one.
Yeah.
That I've smoked on those two, which I guess are the newer versions of the Las Calaveras, right?
I want to say the green was 18. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, and then orange was like 17,
Maybe.
something like that. Because they're at Cigar Warehouse and they were the boxes below the bargain bin. The Las Calaveras is there. So just to let you guys know.
And it's May, so that means the 19s will be will be shipped or are being shipped right around now.
Okay.
This is Las Calaveras time. For a while there, that was the only guaranteed non-Cuban box that I would buy in any given year. Was Las Calaveras. Like I had that.
Okay.
And the 2015 Las Calaveras, I felt, was one of the most underappreciated cigars because they were comparing it with the 2014, which was enormously popular, and then people were a little disappointed, but the 2015s are wonderful.
So there you go, 2015 Las Calaveras.
But then getting back to La Carême, any new tasting notes? It feels kind of a little homogeneous.
Homogeneous is a really good descriptor for the way that it smokes because it's not, there's not twists and turns, there's not changes, but this is a cigar to me like where I can just sit and enjoy the cigar and enjoy it for what it is, and I can smoke a couple of them in a sitting. I can smoke one of these and then, you know, do whatever it is and then come back and smoke another one, and then it's very consistent.
That's it's a great coffee cigar or breakfast cigar if you're going to smoke early in the day. It's a great first cigar of the day.
You can.
Without being one of those first cigars that just doesn't taste like anything, right?
Yep, exactly, yeah. And it doesn't like just kill you. Like, I mean, I've smoked some cigars that are like first cigar of the day and it's like, oh my God, I got the sweats and it's just killing me. And this cigar is not like that. Like for you and me both, it's our first cigar of the day, and I'm not getting that at all. Just really creamy and smooth and sweet. Just nice. I mean, to your point, we were talking about this, how maybe that's what they were shooting for with, you know, the baking thing. I don't know exactly how you put it. I can't remember exactly what you were saying, but it was a really good point that you made.
Just rewind and you'll hear it. Unless we talked about it during the break when we were just...
We were talking about it in the break.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because you were talking about how, like, they were, like, maybe going after that whole, like, baking, coffee vibe, cakey, sweets, as opposed to the more savory side that they really kind of go after with their mainline stuff that they do previous to this cigar. Like the Headley Grange, Jericho Hill, Four Kicks, that kind of stuff is more on the savory side, and it's kind of girthy. And this is not that at all.
Speaking of Jericho Hill, did you get any of the Lanceros, the 12 Honest Men?
I did not smoke that one, no.
If you can get some, if I can get, my friend Fritz smokes a bunch of them. It's one of the companies, maybe JR Atlantic or something, or Holtz, I think it's Holtz, has them on sale. And he's been smoking them like a fiend. So if I can get one, get him to pawn one off on me, I'll get one. Because it's my favorite of the Jericho Hill.
Well, you know, that's the thing too, is that, okay, getting to a Lancero size, right? So I know the trend has been, you just showed me like this big old 58 ring gauge cigar that's, well, that's for another time, but...
Or maybe never.
Yeah, but a lot of people are really into the big ring gauge cigars. And for me personally, I would much rather smoke a cigar with a thinner ring gauge. I don't know why, but, you know, Lancero...
Well, going back to this cigar, right? This is 52. Although it's with the box press, the mouthfeel, it feels a little smaller, it's a little more comfortable. That's about as big as I want to go, ideally. I mean, obviously, we'll try anything, we'll smoke anything.
Yep, absolutely.
Cuban, non-Cuban, whatever ring gauge it is. If you need to throw a 60 ring gauge at me, I'll try to smoke it, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to go higher than that, because then you're getting really into like gimmicky joke size cigars. I know people do smoke those. They smoke a 70 ring gauge cigar and they love it.
Yeah.
But 52 is a good cutoff point for me. But there is no bottom end. I think that on the Cuban side, the La Gloria Cubana MD04 is, I think, a 33 ring gauge. If I'm not mistaken. And pretty small.
Yeah.
Almost cigarillo-like, but a lovely handmade Cuban cigar, and I have no problem at all smoking it. So.
Yeah, as long as they're not plugged or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that draw. I mean, I just smoked the Ramonion Bits of Havana, which is like a cigarillo size, and that cigar was wonderful. And it was like, I mean, it was an aged, okay, yeah, it was an aged cigar. It was like, I don't know, 20 plus years old or whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, like, just, I don't know what it is. I've always mentioned the fact that, like, the bigger the ring gauge, the more volato you need in there for the burn and so on and so forth, with that mixed with the Seco and the Lajero and whatever, Tempo, Corona, whatever you want to call it in there. And so, it has a tendency to maybe make the cigar milder, and you don't get all the flavors maybe that were intended to be presented to you in the stick. You know, I always mention it many times. Like I was talking with I was at some event at Maxmar, and I was talking with Willie Herrera, and he was saying that we were talking about the Herrera Escalade. And he was saying that the Lancero is where that blend really shines. That's what
the 2014 special edition of the Herrera Escalade, fantastic cigar. That's my favorite thing in the Willie line.
Yeah. So, and then I said, well, how, you know, when you blend a cigar too, like, what do you do? And he goes with the smaller, I forget what the name is that he called it. I mean, I'm Spanish simplified, so I don't really know all the Spanish names, but he starts out with a really small, like a petite Corona size, let's just say it, or whatever it is. It's really small, where he's like blending a cigar, and he smokes all of these smaller sticks to figure out what the blend is and then put it in the cigar.
Interesting. So it starts off with, I want approximately these proportions, and then just changes the proportions according to the rigging.
Yeah, I guess that's what he was saying. So, but he definitely mentioned the fact that the Lancero in that is where that blend shines. So, I don't know. I know people just want to get, I guess, more bang for your buck, because this is an expensive hobby, right? So, but yeah.
Can be, but not if you're smoking these.
Yeah, I mean, it's great when you find a bargain bin like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, letting the cat out of the bag, I guess, and the bargain bin's going to be empty.
Yeah, we're going to go there. Well, hopefully he'll fill it with something else nice.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I smoked the Black Honey because of that. And,
yeah, when we talk about the Moon Garden, we should talk about that aspect.
Yeah.
The Black Honey especially.
Yeah. So, we're going to keep smoking, and we will be back a little bit later. Okay. Yeah, it looks better, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're back in the middle.
Yeah. We are getting down to the last, I'm down to about 2. 200.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out how we're going to best shoot this thing, so we kind of moved everything around in the background because we were getting a little washed out. So,
hopefully you can fix that in post, the beginning part. Lighten us up a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. I'm not a stud when it comes to that. So, but
yeah. The cigar has kind of tightened up a little on the flavor profile. Some of those baking spices, and that, like, there was a kind of a hint of a high sweet resiny note, like a wood resin, that has really come more to the forefront and is leaving a little more of a longer finish on the tongue now in this last part than it was before.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, the baking spice that you were talking about, alluding to, yeah, it's definitely come up. It's gotten a little bit more punchy toward the back end here with that. It still has that sweetness in there. Yeah, because I, you know, as far as the wood resin goes, I kind of like likening it to like that sour that we were talking about earlier. It's down the center of the tongue and down the roof of the mouth. But it doesn't have like that really heavy, oily finish like a lot of stuff will have. A lot of the New World stuff will have, which to me, once again, is another refreshing thing. That's why I really enjoy this cigar quite a bit on this. You know, I just do.
Yeah, we had talked earlier about the creaminess, which kind of sometimes is like almost like a whole milk or a milkshake type creaminess.
Yeah.
But then there's that, if you really concentrate on the finish, because it's kind of a drier finish.
Yeah.
But it's almost buttermilk-like.
That's
sourness.
Yeah, buttermilk. That was a really good descriptor actually, because when you bring that in there, yeah. Because buttermilk will have like, I don't know how many of you people out there drank buttermilk, but I actually enjoy buttermilk myself personally. But yeah, it has that.
You drink buttermilk, like straight buttermilk?
Straight up, baby.
Wow, that's so old school.
I know, man. I love it though. I love buttermilk. It's great.
It's like you grew up on a farm in Oklahoma in like the 1920s.
I didn't. You know, it's like, I don't know. I just my dad used to drink a lot of buttermilk back in the day. He would put salt in there too, because salt would kind of sweeten it up a little bit. So yeah, I'll get that buttermilk with the chunks of butter in there and just,
Right.
I love it.
It's kind of got that chunkiness, right?
Yeah, so, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so, yeah, the finish on the palate in the beginning, well, the finish on the palate for me has been not a really thick, heavy finish, but a drier finish on the palate, definitely. But with that sweetness and that kind of buttermilky sourness or whatever it is down the center of the tongue and in the roof of the mouth, with that consistent sweetness. And then the back here, to your point, has, you know, it's a great descriptor once again, talking about the baking spice that's come up and made it a little bit more punchy toward the back.
Yeah, smoke has gotten a little chewier too.
Yeah. It's like the consistency, like your point, the homogeneousness on the cigar. It's not, it doesn't have a lot of twists and turns in there, but it did kind of ramp up toward the end for me. And but it's a good, solid, consistent cigar. And I've smoked a ton of these now, and every time it's like the same, and it's good. It's a good cigar.
I think for me to wrap up how I feel about the cigar, it's a somewhat rare example of a narrowly defined cigar, like they knew what they were going for with it and really hit the target.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. So if you have a chance to pick up some of these La Carême, or whatever you want to call it, I'd say go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So, with that, we're going to smoke this thing down a little bit more and enjoy the rest of the day here in Southern California. And that's about it. I just wrap this thing up.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye.